don't see no competition. I don't see no competition. Come with us, you know we in it. You on the wrong side if you try and win. I don't see no competition. I don't see no competition. Come with us, you know we in it. You on the wrong side if you try and win. What you talking about?
Joining us now is someone who certainly knows how to be successful at the running back position. Former Bronco and Redskins star Clinton Portis here with us today. What's up?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I wish I could have blocked for Clinton Portis, boy.
I wish you
would have made my job. Oh, he would have made me look good, boy.
I wish you could have blocked for me, too.
All right, well, let's move along to Jerry Jones, all right? He has indicated that the Cowboys have made some progress in their contract talks with Ezekiel Elliott, saying that he was hopeful to have the star running back available to play in Sunday's season opener. ESPN also has confirmed multiple reports that Elliott is traveling to Dallas in order to be present to sign a contract Tuesday if the sides agree to a deal. So, Clinton, does Zeke deserve to be the highest paid running back in football?
Well, he does. With the expectations that's coming out of Dallas, I think you pay him. Why pretend? You know, I think you've seen the back and forth with Jerry, where it's just one of those situations. We don't need Zeke in the preseason, but starting week 1, he'll be on this roster. If he's flying back from Cabo right now, I expect to have a deal done. I expect to see Zeke opening week.
Yeah, I don't think he deserves to be the highest paid. I think he should be one of the highest paid for a couple reasons. Number one, he's 2 years out from free agency. That's the reality, okay? So that suppresses your dollars a little bit. But he should be among the highest paid because he is, like, even though, running backs are fungible, it doesn't matter. Some guys give you such a premium over what you can replace them with that they're worth the money. I don't also think he should be the highest paid based on who's the best. I don't think Ezekiel Elliott's the best running back in football.
Who is?
I think Saquon Barkley is qualitatively better than everybody.
Well,
I think Todd Gurley is a little better. And I'll tell you someone else. If I had to pick, Christian McCaffrey is like little Saquon Jr. Those three are right in the mix.
So wait a minute, you got like Zeke and like 4?
Yeah,
like you just named
4.
Yeah.
I honestly have Zeke in that same bill. I love Christian McCaffrey. I love Saquon Barkley, but they're still young and unproven. You're talking about durability. You're talking about a guy who's carrying the team. Those guys aren't asked to carry their team as of right now.
Run between the tackles as much as he does.
He's going to run between the tackles. He's going to give you everything. So when you look at Zeke, if Zeke doesn't have success, then Dak doesn't work. Whereas you look at everyone else, it's a tangible. It doesn't really matter because I think Christian McCaffrey could go on to be the best running back in the NFL once we see the full exposure. If you get an accurate Cam Newton, if you get someone on the outside, then all of a sudden Christian McCaffrey becomes the best running back in the NFL. You look at Le'Veon Bell, you look at Saquon, those guys are all contingent upon something else. Le'Veon just came to New York. What kind of offensive line do we have? Will he be able to put up the same numbers that he put up in Pittsburgh? I'm not sure. But I love Le'Veon Bell as an individual. He can do everything. He's a mismatch.
Yeah. Listen, I think Zeke is unique because the Dallas Cowboys are built around him. How many teams are built around a running back? We talked about not only the running game and what he does for Dak Prescott, but you also look at the defense. Like the Dallas Cowboys, their defense, they played the fewest snaps since 2016. Yeah. Imagine how fresh you are. You're on the defensive line, and Zeke is just eating up clock. You can go out there and just start, pinning your ear back and getting
it's set up for Zeke. If you're talking about the setup, but then he's 2 years out. But if you put he's consistently running between the tackles, the whole thing. But think about the tackles that Saquon Barkley is trying to run through. Now put him on the Dallas Cowboys. That's a different thing.
Saquon is on the outside. He's making plays in space. You look at Zeke. Zeke does it in between the tackles. When I look at a running back, I measure a running back by the defensive coordinator. Is this game plan? Who is this game plan to stop? Is it designed to stop Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, or Ezekiel Elliott? It's game plan to stop Ezekiel Elliott. When I get in arguments, people always say, oh, well, you could have done this. I've never had a game plan that wasn't designed to stop me. No defensive coordinator ever came into the game and said, well, we don't have to worry about 26. He's not going to beat us. Yes, he is. So that's how I look at game plans designed for Zeke. When you look at Saquon and you look at McCaffrey, you can put them in space. It's hard for a D coordinator to just set up and stop them, say, oh, we're going to put 8 men in the box, or we're going to blitz to this side and keep him in pass blocking. No, you could take Saquon, you could take McCaffrey, you can line them up at wide receiver, and they're going to give you the same performance along with Le'Veon Bell.
Clinton, knowing Zeke's skill set, knowing his impact and influence, as you're saying, on the success of the entire team and what they're trying to do out there, should he accept any offer that is less than an offer that would make him the highest paid running back in football?
Well, I think he deserves to get his money. So if I'm Zeke, I'm requesting that. But you got to be okay if you fall in that number 2. You got to understand, at the end of the season, someone else is going to top that anyway. Is someone else going to get a new contract? Another running back is going to be up. Christian McCaffrey will get paid. Saquon still got time, but someone else is going to get paid. Gurley, he's going to always be in the top running backs paid. Le'Veon, he's going to always be in the top running backs getting paid. So after you sign, someone else is coming in and say, hey, I deserve to be number 1.
But I think to me, it all goes back to, if you're not a free agent, that's the biggest thing. I think that's ultimately could hold Zeke back, is the fact that he's not a free agent. He's still got, a year plus a 5th-year option tacked on his contract.
That's why. See, I think that's real important. Does he deserve to be the highest paid? Well, next man up. Zeke's not up. He's skipping the line. So if he comes in top 3, in terms of guarantee, forget about the average annual, guaranteed money. If Zeke gets top 3 guaranteed money after a $16 million rookie deal, 2 years before he's a free agent, to me, he looks bad if he doesn't take that deal. If they put that out there, we offered him the 3rd highest guarantee for any running back, and he's not a free agent for 2 years. I think people would understand, Zeke, take the money.
All right, guys, we named a lot of really talented running backs in this conversation. I want to make sure we get to you because you are a Pro Bowl back here, and we've got to get your list of the top running backs in football. All right, you got Zeke. We're talking about him. You guys said Saquon, Alvin, Christian, just name a few. So, Clinton, starting with you, who are the top 3 running backs in the NFL? Top 3 right now, and order matters.
Okay, since order matters, I have to go with Le'Veon because he's proven. Then I'm going Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. Right now, Alvin Kamara is a great back, but I haven't seen a full entity of Alvin Kamara. He's always shared the backfield with Ingram. So he could take off this year and change my mind because he's such a great back. You look at Kareem Hunt before the suspension, he was in line. You look at Gurley, you look at Melvin Gordon, he has that argument. So it's so many people with the argument and so many people want it, but the one person who's going to get the ball, who's going to get the carries every year, whose game plan and team needs him is Ezekiel Elliott. Everyone else is kind of expendable. It's like, hey, you look at the Saints, Alvin Kamara. Well, we got Mark Ingram. We got this guy.
Not
you look
anymore.
at everyone else.
Yeah.
Well, you don't anymore, but I'm just saying how you justify being the best back. Le'Veon Bell, the same situation. He sat out a year. You can't get that time back. So when you look at Ezekiel Elliott, you have to pay him. Although it's 2 years removed and he was a first rounder, I don't understand his or Melvin Gordon argument because they were first.
So who's 1, 2, 3 for you? One is Zeke?
No, one is Le'Veon.
Le'Veon, sorry.
Even with the year off.
Yes.
Okay.
So one is Le'Veon.
The year off refreshed Le'Veon. When you look at Le'Veon now, he seems focused. So I'm going Le'Veon, Barkley, and McCaffrey.
I think that's a really interesting list. I can't put Le'Veon on because I haven't seen him for a year. Otherwise, he was number 1 the last time we saw him.
Right.
Haven't seen him for a year. I think at this moment, number 1 is Saquon. I think he's actually in a class by himself, to tell you the truth. And I don't even think he knows fully what he's doing yet. And he's already just different. 235, the fastest dude, the slipperiest dude, the best teammate type guy, the whole thing. Number 2 is Todd Gurley, who to me, when he is healthy, when he's healthy.
You're saying when he's healthy.
Wait a minute, Matt. You're talking a guy with arthritic knee.
You're right.
You got to factor that in.
You're right, and that's why he slipped to 9 in the draft. So I get it. When he is healthy, I like Gurley second. If you want to take him off, then I'd have Zeke. I think McCaffrey is going to be better than Zeke. But right now, for the reasons you said, Zeke is a bell cow, workhorse, between the tackles guy who you can rely on those steady returns. I'll put Zeke 2, and 3, I will take McCaffrey by this much over Kamara.
Let me ask you a question. Do you get enough out of Zeke in the passing game? Because you know how the NFL is. NFL is so pass-centric. Do you maybe bump up the other guys more because they're more involved in the passing game?
Yeah, well,
that's why I'm bumping up the other guys, because you really can't game plan for the other guys. Le'Veon Bell can line up at wide receiver. Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, they all can line up at the receiver slot. When you look at Zeke, the one guy who's been healthy, who it's off the games he's missed, is off the field situations. That's stuff you can fix. The one guy who's been durable, who's been healthy, who goes out and busts his butt, who carry a team, who carries linebackers and everything else is Ezekiel
Guys
Elliott.
don't want to tackle.
Yeah, guys don't want to tackle him, especially once he gets going. If it's late in the game, you're talking about the only back that's still getting 20 to 25 carries per game. Everyone else get 25 touches, but it's in space. You're talking about a guy who's lining up in the I formation and coming downhill. Ezekiel
So is your
Elliott.
argument, so it sounds like you're making two arguments there. Number one, because you have to game plan for Zeke, resources go there so other players have a chance to do things if you're concentrating resources on Zeke. And number two, he can actually, even though you're game planning, still beat you just doing what he does. Is that basically the argument?
Well, he can still beat you. So my argument is I think Zeke deserves to get paid because he's the bell cow of the Dallas Cowboys. That was to the argument of saying, well, he has 2 years left. Although I have 2 years left, you don't move if I don't move. Your Super Bowl aspirations and dreams are based on Ezekiel Elliott, not Dak Prescott, not Amari Cooper. So it's perfect timing for him to get paid. But I'm not making the argument of him getting paid for being the best back in the NFL. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Clint, you're sticking around with us for the next block. We appreciate your expertise here and talking about some of the running backs that we're excited about. Coming up, we'll be talking about a team people are excited about. The odds makers are certainly buying the hype in the dog pound this season, but someone here at the desk is not. We'll tell you who wins the tough AFC North when First Take continues. Big time action in Flushing Meadows as coverage of the U.S. Open continues right after us at noon Eastern here on ESPN.